This is what happens when you stop being nice to a narcissist. Let's be real for a moment. You've tried being kind to a narcissist, haven't we all? Whether it came from compassion, hope, or simply being a decent person, you believe that kindness might break through the ice. After all, we're raised to think that treating people well will eventually bring out the best in them. But here's the harsh reality. Narcissists thrive on your niceness. They devour it, not with gratitude, but with calculation. They see your kindness not as love, empathy, or strength, but as something they can use. To them, kindness is leverage. They don't interpret your patience or softness the way you intend. Instead, they file it away as a sign that you'll tolerate their games. Every time you give more, they take more. It's not a relationship, it's a rigged system. Like sitting at a poker table where the narcissist already knows every card in your hand, and you keep thinking the next round might be fair. But here's the twist. There is something that knocks them off balance. It's not fury. It's not payback. It's something far quieter and far more effective. And to access that power, you've got to do the one thing that feels completely unnatural after giving so much for so long. You have to stop. Stop playing their game. Stop showing up with kindness that only feeds their control. Let's break it down even further. 1. Being nice to a narcissist is like offering tofu to a wolf and expecting it to lose its appetite for meat. It sounds absurd, right? But that's exactly what we're doing when we try to win a narcissist over with kindness. We're handing them exactly what they crave, our willingness to bend. They aren't softened by your generosity. They aren't touched by your empathy. Instead, they see it as an opening, a sign that you'll go the extra mile, even while they tear you down. To a narcissist, niceness isn't noble. It's naive. The moment you express concern, they weaponize it. You apologize, and they twist it. You try to understand, and they use your understanding to escape accountability. Your compassion becomes a trap, and you're the one caught in it. So here's the truth. Kindness doesn't tame narcissists. It empowers them. And the longer you keep offering it, hoping they'll change, the longer you stay stuck in a dynamic that only serves them. You can't out-nice a narcissist, and you don't need to. What you need is clarity, boundaries, and the strength to stop feeding someone who only consumes. 2. Kindness works on people who value connection, but narcissists don't see it that way. Kindness is powerful when it's given to someone who values human connection. For emotionally healthy people, kindness builds trust, strengthens bonds, and creates mutual respect. It's a two-way street. You offer warmth, and they return it. That's how real connection works. But with a narcissist, the rules are completely different. They don't interpret kindness as an invitation to connect. They see it as an opportunity to exploit. Where you see generosity, they see vulnerability. You're reaching out, trying to build a bridge, and they're already thinking about how to tear it down for their own gain. To a narcissist, kindness isn't admirable, it's useful. They won't meet your compassion with gratitude. Instead, they twist it, manipulate it, and use it to steer the relationship in their favor. Your kindness doesn't bring them closer, it gives them control. And once they sense you're someone who gives without question, they stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a resource. So while your intention may be connection, what they take from it is permission to dominate, deceive, and drain. 3. Picture a predator scoping out a herd, not looking for the strongest, but for weakness. Think of it like this. In the wild, a predator doesn't charge at the strongest animal. It doesn't waste energy chasing the fastest. It scans the group, patiently watching for the one who's limping, distracted, or hanging back. That's the one it wants, the easiest target. Narcissists follow the same instinct. They're not drawn to strength or resilience. They're looking for uncertainty, for self-doubt, for someone who second-guesses themselves, someone hoping too hard that kindness will change things. That hope, that hesitation, that's exactly what pulls them in. They seek out the cracks, small moments of insecurity, emotional openness, even kindness, and use those as entry points to assert control. Because they're not looking for a partner. They're looking for power. And once they find your soft spots, they exploit them. Not because you're weak, but because you care. And in their world, caring is something to be conquered, not reciprocated. 4. They've got all the confirmation they need when your response is kindness. Here's what most people don't realize. A narcissist doesn't need a dramatic confession or obvious surrender to feel in control. All it takes is your reaction, specifically your kindness. The moment you respond with compassion instead of boundaries, they see it as a green light. They don't interpret your patience as strength or your empathy as goodness. In their mind, your kindness translates to one thing: permission. Permission to manipulate, to push boundaries, to take advantage. You think you're being understanding. They think they've won. It's like feeding a fire, hoping it will go out. The more grace you give, the more they consume. They don't need to see you fall apart to know they've got power over you. They only need to see that you will keep showing up with kindness, no matter how badly they treat you. To them, that's not admirable. That's exploitable. So understand this. It's not your kindness that's the problem. It's who you're giving it to. 5. This isn't a moral showdown. This is about power. Control. Who calls the shots? Let's clear something up. This isn't some battle between good and evil. It's not about virtue, fairness, or doing the right thing. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it always comes down to one thing: power. Who has it? Who's keeping it? Who's using it to control whom? You may think you're navigating a relationship built on mutual care or respect, but that's not how a narcissist sees it. They don't want a partner. They want a puppet. They want someone who follows their script, feeds their ego, and never challenges their control. To them, this isn't a relationship. It's a hierarchy, and they belong at the top. And every interaction is a move on the board. They're not here to play fair. They're here to win. Your kindness? That's not a peace offering. It's a strategic advantage for them, something they can twist and use to pull the strings tighter. So if you're hoping that playing fair will earn you fairness in return, think again. They're not interested in a balanced dynamic. They want control, and they'll keep taking it until you stop giving it away. 6. The only way out? Drop the script. Walk off the stage. Stop playing the part they expect. Let's call it what it is. Being in a relationship with a narcissist is like acting in a play you never auditioned for. They've written the lines, set the stage, and cast you in a role that serves their ego. You're expected to smile on cue, apologize on command, and keep the peace, no matter the cost. And for a while, maybe you convince yourself you had some say in how it all played out. But you don't. You're following their script. The only way out? Stop acting. Tear up the script. Walk off that emotional stage. Refuse to play the role they've assigned you, because the moment you stop delivering the reactions they've come to expect, the power dynamic shifts. Think of it like this. A narcissist is the director of a one-sided show. But without your performance, there is no production. You stepping away from the role? That's what ends the drama. So reclaim your power. Step off that stage and let the curtain fall for good. 7. Indifference is far more devastating to a narcissist than anger or revenge. Here's something most people miss. Narcissists don't actually fear your rage. In fact, they feed on it. Anger means you still care. Revenge means you're still playing. They love knowing they can still get a rise out of you, because emotional engagement, even the negative kind, keeps them in control. But indifference? That's what destroys them. When you stop reacting, when you stop defending yourself, stop explaining, stop chasing closure, they're left shouting into a void. They can't manipulate someone who no longer shows up to the conversation. Your silence becomes their worst nightmare. Indifference is not cold, it's freeing. It's the moment you stop running in circles trying to make sense of their chaos and start walking in a straight line away from it. They can't handle that. They don't know how to control someone who no longer plays the game. It's not about punishing them. It's about choosing peace over performance. Final message, rewritten. Here's the bottom line. The more nice you try to be, the more ammunition you hand over. Narcissists don't interpret kindness as connection. They see it as access. They're not after a healthy bond. They're hunting for control. And when you show them your vulnerability, your empathy, your hope that they'll change, they move in like a predator spotting easy prey. But that control, it only lasts as long as you let them hold the script. The second you stop reacting, stop engaging, stop caring, that's when everything shifts. Not with anger, not with revenge, with stillness, with indifference. Because when you give nothing, they get nothing. So, if this hit home for you, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel. There's so much more coming to help you reclaim your power and your peace.